for the blue button to finish loading. I think we're all good. I'll zoom in on this more. Kelly, you still good to lead us today?
You need me to?
Are you able to?
Yeah, I can if you, okay, I can, okay. Okay, I can. Okay, I'll take roll call then.
Okay, I'm gonna start the recording real quick before I forget.
Okay. Okay.
Wait, where did it go? There we go.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Go ahead and start with roll call. I'll start from the list that we have on the document. So our president, Mackenzie Rivera.
Here.
You, Vice President Christopher Tun.
Here.
You, VP of Academic Affairs, Christina Zhang.
Here.
You, VP for Student Services, Louise.
Here.
Okay. Vice President for Business Affairs, Michael.
Present.
Okay. Vice President for Campus Activity, Alex.
Here.
Okay. VP of Student Equity, Jasmine.
Here.
Okay. VP of Public Relations, Philly.
Here.
VP of External Affairs, me, I'm here. Kelly is here. VP of Sustainability, Emmanuel.
Present.
Q. And then our student trustee, David.
Here.
Okay. And then, okay, perfect.
No skips, Kelly.
Hold up.
I'm here.
Oh, I'm sorry. Where's you? Chief Justice, Kyle.
I'm here.
Thank you. Okay, and then if we can just maybe Q. All right, before we begin, we just want to acknowledge that we're conducting business on the native land of the Hahamanga tribe of the Tonga Nation. Just give a moment of silence. Okay, right, and okay, sorry, we already, with that being said, we'll call this meeting to order. It's 12:09 p.m. And since we already did roll call, it looks like we have established quorum. I would like to entertain a motion to adopt today's agenda for October 28th, 2020.
I move.
Everything looks all right. All right. Thank you, Jasmine. Do you have a second?
Second that.
Thank you, Kyle. Okay, I'll just do a roll call vote. Go ahead and call your name in the order that's listed on the agenda. President Mackenzie.
Aye.
Q. Christopher. Chris, sorry.
Aye.
Thank you.
It. Yeah, either's fine. Aye.
Thank you. Christina.
Aye.
Louise.
Aye.
Q. Alex.
Aye.
Michael.
Aye.
Jasmine.
Aye.
Okay, and Philly.
Aye.
It's an aye for Kelly. Emmanuel.
Aye.
You, Kyle.
Aye.
David.
Aye.
Hi, perfect. Thank you so much. With all of our board in favor, we've gone ahead and passed that motion. Can we go ahead and see if everyone approves of the minutes from the last meeting? I think it was the October. What was the last meeting? October 21st. Everything looks okay. I'd like to entertain a motion to adopt the minutes from the last meeting.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Based on my other meetings I've attended of shared governance, I was wondering, since I was absent, should it say abstain or should it say absent?
If you're, so according to Brown Act, if I'm not wrong, if you're not there in the beginning, you're not a part of quorum, so you wouldn't be part of the voting members when you're actually. Yeah. But if you're like, okay, you're there in the beginning and then later on you drop out, it would be no, because if you don't actively say yes and it's a Zoom call, then it's a no.
No, it would just be
Right?
if we're aware that he's not there for the vote, then his vote isn't counted at all.
Oh, really? Oh, because he would be dropped out of the quorum, right? Yeah. Okay.
Thanks.
If we are all okay with the minutes, can I have a...
I don't see Prop 16.
from our minutes or from the agenda?
Wait, is it? Oh, never mind. I can't read.
Right here.
So we're all okay with the minutes. Just like to entertain a motion to adopt them. This is last week's minutes from last Wednesday.
I move to adopt the minutes for October 21st.
Yes, thank you. And then do you have a second for that?
I second.
it.
Thank you. I think I heard Louise first. Thank you. First by Chris, second by Louise. Just do a roll call vote really fast. President Rivera, Mackenzie.
Aye.
Thank you. Chris.
Aye.
Thank you. Christina.
Aye.
Louise.
Aye.
Okay, Michael.
Aye.
Alex.
Aye.
Jasmine.
Aye.
Philly.
Aye.
Kelly. Me, that's I. Emmanuel.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
David.
Aye.
And all right. With all of our members voting aye, that motion passes. We've gone ahead and approved the minutes for last week's meeting.
Hey, Kelly, sorry, really quickly, you don't get a vote since you're the chair, so you
Oh,
can skip your name. So just for Francis, so when they're taking the minutes, just wanted to remind you.
yeah, no, you're right. Sorry about that. Yeah, just ignore me.
You only vote if there's a tie.
Right. Okay. Okay, let me go back. Okay, and then so we're gonna go ahead and address any members of the public on non-agenda items. It looks like we don't have members of the public on the call. Is there anybody, in the video that you guys see? If not, then we're gonna go ahead and move on to.
Give me a minute, unless someone is on the YouTube now, I'll look. Hold on. If someone's there, they can check. I'm logging in now.
No public comment.
All
Okay.
right. Okay, perfect. Then we can move on to introductions and reports. We can start with board reports. I will just. Oh, sorry, what's that? I didn't hear. Okay, never mind. We start with board reports. Let's start with Mackenzie, our president.
All right. Don't worry, I'll keep it short. Since I didn't really have any official meetings to attend, it was more just checking in with a couple of people. I went to the Board of Trustees last Wednesday. For this week, I'm supposed to be meeting with Dean Cobb and with the Flea Market Policy Committee meeting on Friday. So that's going to take up 3 hours of my time. Other than that, I really don't have anything to report this week.
Move on to Chris.
Pretty much same for me. Well, on the AS side of things, not much is going on, but I have been dealing with, catching up with homework and just trying to deal with some personal stuff. The technology group that I am a part of, they need students for the upcoming town hall and focus groups that they're having. So please, if you can advertise this in your committees, please let them email me, or if you can advertise in your classes, I would really appreciate it. And I'm sure Candace would too. In terms of ICC, stuff is pretty much falling into place, but I still have to obviously run the meetings and get people to attend the meetings. At the previous meeting last week, we ended up having to decharter a few people, unfortunately, because they weren't showing up. But that's neither here nor there. The wheels of ICC keep moving, keep on turning. Yeah, and that's pretty much it for me.
See, awesome. We're gonna move on to Christina.
Hi everyone. So not that much, but so I went to the academic senate meeting and we talked about pass, no pass, and they said that as of right now they're still not very certain. They said people can petition for an excused withdrawal, but right now they don't have a clear answer because I think they were talking about how some people have taken 8-week courses that have already passed. Also with that, we talked about the Zoom legal statement, the camera legal statement that came out. The academic senate also wants to put out a statement, and some people said that they wanted to put like saying that you have to have your cameras on, but most people did object to that, saying that it shouldn't be enforced just because a lot of people have different situations and technology issues. But they haven't reached a clear conclusion, I believe. And then I'm also reviewing all the resumes for the vice president of instruction. Wow. And then I also reached out and have multiple confirmations for the alumni transfer panel. But yeah, that's it for me.
Wow, that's a lot. Next is Louise.
Hi everyone. So what's been going on is it's still Domestic Violence Awareness Month. We just had an event last week, and our last one is tomorrow. So please come out and join us from 12 to 1 on our YouTube Live and know a little bit more about the impacts of domestic violence. I have started to meet with Carrie again, and we're starting to plan Holiday Angels, as well as Finals Relaxation Week with Christina, and her and I have yet to meet. Some things that happened this week were that I went to the A2 Mend webinar last Saturday, and it was amazing. Truly, it felt like super enriching and nourishing to me as a woman, but also like people of color, and it was really, really good. I highly recommend them. I know there are some things that have been going on this week, like Parenting Student Week. I know that these are kind of hard, like these resources aren't really, what do you call it? Advertised to everyone in a sense, but it is happening. If you all know someone who is a parent and would like to join, there are still events and you can reach out to me. And amazing open mic last night, y'all. I went to that, so that was good. And committee reports. The IAC meeting last Friday, we just reconciled the natural sciences and engineering programs, and that's about it.
Awesome, so good. All right, so the next on my list, I have Michael. Sorry.
Hello. I have a question about the applications for the committee. Do I talk about that now, or do I try to bring that up later?
So what this time is meant to do is just to highlight and let folks know what you're doing. It's just a quick overview so that the board remains in contact and touch. So you can just talk about your applications. That's also, because this is reports, it's not meant to be a discussion or a conversation. So we can't do that type of conversation.
Okay, no report.
Okay, awesome. Go ahead and move on to next person on my list is Alex.
So, first thing I did was I met with Kyle to further discuss the logistics of the podcast that we are planning. Then I met with Carrie to continue to work on the final details of Spirit Week next week. Yesterday I held my first committee meeting. A few of you came. Thank you for that. I had fun. They stayed on the Zoom for like a good 30 minutes after, just talking. And then as far as I attended the calendar committee last Wednesday, and we started working on the 23-24 academic calendar, and we recommended to the College Council to change the wording in AP 4010 to exclude the holiday of California Admissions Day to be more in line with the school's acknowledgement of native land. Other than that, I don't have anything else to report.
Okay, thank you, Alex. Okay, we'll move on to Jasmine.
Hi, everyone. So some stuff to report is yesterday we concluded our Building Solidarity Initiative events with the spoken word, and it was phenomenal. So shout out to Matt from the Cross Cultural Center for handing all the tech side. Shout out to Mackenzie and Philly for coming through and showing their talent. That was amazing. And we also debuted some the video that Philly also made, and Philly and Kelly made for the Pass the Ballot Challenge. So that was really fun, and you all can watch it on the Cross Cultural YouTube. Moving on to another report is I am going to start working on the Dia de los Muertos. It's just going to be a quick video. It's going to be posted on the Cross Cultural Center. and it's just honoring or what the days are for, and how we honor our ancestors. And then as of committee reports, I am going to send out a few acceptance letters because I need to start my committee stuff. So I'm going to send out some acceptance letters. And that's about it. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Jasmine. Next person is Philly.
Report?
Sorry?
Nothing I'd like to report.
Okay, thank you. Next person is me. I like to kind of start with thank you everyone for turning in, your little clips of the videos. I thought it was so cute. And it actually happened. So thank you, Billy, for editing it. And we put that together. I think we're probably going to add, if we have a chance, like a final slide, I'll have some information about some voting places and some, I guess, voting details about maybe how you can track your ballot, et cetera, et cetera. So that'll be like maybe addition that we'll add to the video. Other than that, we do have an event coming up. It's called the Election Watch Party event. I did make some posters that we can review later, and also a drive-through event if you guys are interested in helping out on Monday. Other than that, I think that's probably it for me. Oh, one more thing. My lobby committee is meeting on this Thursday, if you'd like to hop in as well. But thank you. Okay, we can move on to Emmanuel.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I'd like to report that I watched the Board of Trustees meeting to get an idea of the way those meetings are. How do they flow? Via YouTube. I also watched a Pasadena Unified School District Board meeting to find out what local high school students are concerned about during this remote learning, being able to get some ideas from their experience in improving their educational journey. I was able to obtain their names and where I'll be inviting them to attend future events at PCC. Some of the students are already connected through the TRIO program. And I also attended the mixer by the Cross Cultural Center. I bounced around between that and what is domestic violence event hosted by Louise and PCC Health and Wellness. I thought it was very informative with the diverse panel, and I really liked the way the questions were being asked as they were being submitted on YouTube. I also attended Alex's campus activities committee meeting where I introduced myself to the committee. And today I'll be meeting with President McKenzie to prepare for the first AS Sustainability Committee meeting, which should be happening this Friday afternoon. And for committees, shared governance, I was able to attend the Sustainability Committee that was held for the first time this past Monday. And there we reviewed the carbon pledge drafted by faculty, as well as a presentation by facilities Richard. He presented a little overview of the facilities master plan. And also attended the Facility Standing Committee. We also received an update of the progress of the facilities at the moment. And also I've been connected with the Health and Safety Committee, where I've requested them to please include me in their email list and future meetings. And that is it for now. Thank you.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Okay, we can move on to Kyle.
Okay. So I have a couple things. It's not going to be long. The first thing is I met with Alex in regard to the podcast. We figured out the preliminary need we have to create it. And second, I attended the open mic night last night, I guess. And it was really interesting hearing everybody speak. Mackenzie and Philly were both there and did awesome. I want to note that. And lastly, I have a committee report. I went to the Distance Education Committee yesterday, and they noted a few things in particular. They were very crucial need of students' support and insight. And a couple of things that they noted down was that they recommended for AS submit a standardized recommendation for faculty and administration over privacy concerns. Essentially, they're saying that there's so many disjointed networks and communication streams around privacy concerns, especially in the digital age, that we should come up with a specific message that we want to show the rest of this campus and all the students that would encompass what we want to tell them about privacy, especially with Zoom and these other softwares becoming more prevalent in this COVID era. And we also talked about the OER, which is Open Educational Resources, and how some courses don't exactly have the access to specific things, even though they're supposed to be free. So basically that there's a disjunct between what should be and what is. And we discussed how the library has different options for rectifying this, such as they provide free newspaper sources that they subscribe to. They have resources that professors can access, and that currently the role of finding these resources is going on to the student rather than the professor, and that they should be advertised and promoted for the professor's lens instead of falling onto the students. So those are a couple of things we talked about in the distance education committee. And I discussed with them the need to talk to specifically Christina to come up with a plan to create some sort of United AS message that we can promote to the academic senate, because they're one of the bodies that's focusing on these distance education parameters. I have nothing else to report in addition to that.
Okay, thank you, Kyle. And then I think we have David last.
Awesome. So I attended the Board of Trustees last Wednesday, and all the items that I mentioned, the calendar, the budget resolution, the faculty association agreement, those were all approved. I also met with some of the trustees to discuss the success of the school's non-credit division, and it was sort of determined that the school needs to attempt to collect the data as to whether students are actually getting jobs from our programs, and whether or not, because at the moment we don't really have that kind of data. It's not really possible for us to collect it. So we're trying to find ways to do that. And so later on we can set goals on what we want to achieve and try to get our goals aligned with the chancellor's call to action. I also attended the Board of Trustees Facility Committee meeting where the technology master plan was discussed. And a lot of the processes involved in it were including students from inside our districts and taking a look at their financial situations. And so I try to remind the Board of Trustees that most of our students are out of district and we should be paying attention to them as well. And so that was sort of mostly what I input in there. But yeah, that's my report.
Yay, amazing. Okay, okay, with our reports kind of concluded for our board, do we have any financial reports? I think maybe this is Carrie or Michael.
I would say that we will work with Michael to get you an accurate financial report next meeting.
Okay, awesome. Okay, if not, then we have advisory reports.
Okay, so as you all heard, I sent the congratulatory email out last week. Dean Cobb is now Dr. Dean Cobb. So when you do see her, please congratulate her. It's 3 years of her work, and hopefully she'll be able to share her study, which is actually really fascinating. It's about African-American women in community college. And it's actually a very good study, and it could really impact the way, some changes on campuses in the state. So I'm very excited for her. Also coming up, yes, we've been doing a lot of different programs and activities, but I do have to give a shout out to Jasmine. I am sorry I couldn't make it to last night. I was working with Kelly last night, couldn't make it to the spoken mic night. And by the time I found out, I was like, oh, it's too late, but I'm glad I caught some of the video. It looked like amazing. You had a great speaker and a lot of fantastic stuff. So congratulations, not only for that event, but also maintaining, it's hard maintaining a whole month's worth of programs. So, and you did it. So I'm really proud of you for doing that. And thank you, because I think it represented AS well. And I think you did a lot to help and support students. So thank you very much and congratulations. We do have a lot of events coming up. And so if you have not yet had your COVID test, please go out and get it because we need some help. Next week will be the two big events. One will be the elections, and then the other piece will be the giveaway. I just got I'm working with Swank, just got the piece to this morning. It looks like we will be able to stream Black Panther. That was kind of, we're going back and forth on that, but I think we finally have set up a link so that way anyone can sign in and they can stream and watch Black Panther. So once we get off of here, I'll get the links and I'll get it over to Philly and to Alex, and we can send that out to people. So really help if you could send it out to folks and let them know. we want to make sure that we go ahead and if you have taken the COVID test, that if you're available to help with the distribution of the things, because we want to make sure that we're covering all our bases. Again, it's not just about serving the students here on the Colorado campus. Let's make sure that we go and get to the Rosemead campus and also drop off some things to the Foothill campus as well, because those are students that you serve as well. So make sure you do that. Couple other things coming up that I'm working on is we're trying to work on a way of making sure that the Holiday Angels program still happens. And for those of you that don't know, Holiday Angels is we work with the students from EOPNS, PASS, CARES, and CalWorks to offer an opportunity so that their children can get a gift from someone on campus. So we usually take their names, a gift wish, and then we match them with someone on campus. So this year with COVID, it's a little bit different. So hopefully I'll be looking to all of you and your committees to help with that. So that way we can get that all worked out. So just so you remember, as you bring your committees in, have them join Lancer Life. And if we haven't yet, most of them should have them join Lancer Life. And then when they join, let's make a notation that they're a committee member, because then that helps them with their co-curricular transcript, because we still will probably have scholarships available this spring, and they will need to have their co-curricular transcript. So I did have someone from Alex's committee reach out to me yesterday asking to be added to the AS page for Lancer Life. And so I went ahead and did that, and I noted that she was a committee member. So if someone needs some help with that, let me know. We can do that. I also did hold our, our advisor trainings, and that went really well. We've probably gone through about 25 clubs have advisor trainings. And if we have time at the end of today, I will pull up the financial section just to show you all the step-by-step process of how you get stuff paid and reimbursed. So other than that, I just have to say this as a reminder. One, before you schedule your committees, you need to make sure that Jordan or myself can be at your meeting, or whoever I designate as your advisor, whether that's Matt, myself, or Jordan. Please make sure, or Dean Cobb, schedule it first with your advisor. After you schedule it, you must post your agenda 72 hours in advance. And right now we're saying you can post it on Lancer Life, or you could post it Lancer Life and Instagram. If you could also send it to Francis, they can then post it up on our meetings page. But you have your 72-hour mark has to be sent out on Lancer Life and Instagram, and you need to send it out to all of your committee members and your advisor. That's how I'm going to judge whether or not you met the 72-hour mark. Okay, we're all about transparency. The Brown Act says, you need to make sure you post 72 hours in advance. You don't have to wait until 72 hours. You could plan ahead and post early, but 72 hours is the threshold. So again, make sure you check with your advisor, schedule that time, then post your agenda. So don't do it the other way around and you hit me up after you've already scheduled everything, okay? So please make sure you take care of that. Also, if you need to get a corona test, make sure the PCC one is already done. You're not gonna, it's too late. If you wanna do it next month, let us know and Dean Cobb will add you to the list. So that way you can go ahead and get on it. But otherwise, you're now going to have to go find some place. Dodger Stadium does it, turn around. And if not, ask Alex because he got one at Union Station. So you can get it done pretty quickly. So that's all I've got. Thank you.
Yay. Thank you, Carrie. Okay. And then we can move on to shared governance discussion. If there's anything that's come up in your meetings with, other committees, or anything that you visited, any faculty meetings, you can kind of discuss it here, or anything from your board report that you want to.
Oh my God, Kelly, you're just skipping everyone today, aren't you?
No.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Jordan, go ahead.
No, honestly, I didn't have a lot. Just I'm gonna order I'm gonna order name badges today from Deco. They're a little bit cheaper from the previous person that we've been getting it from. The only person I don't have information from is Kyle. So Kyle, if you want to send me, wow. If you want to send me your information if you want a name badge, if you don't, just let me know. I need to do it by the end of this meeting. And so I will write the email while we're in here. The other thing too is right now is that time to kind of like reevaluate where we're at in our lives right now. So if you want to take some time to yourselves, reevaluate your situations, your priorities. If you need help with that, reach out to me, let me know. I've been meeting with some of you to discuss personal things as well as just time management and where your schedule and stuff is going to be from here on moving out. Other than that, yeah, that's pretty much it. I won't be available Friday in the morning. I have a doctor's appointment. So anytime after noon, just let me know if you all need anything. Thank you.
Thank you, Jordan. Actually, I would like to reach out. That sounds like some good time management planning. Okay, and then with our advisory reports being done, do we have any shared governance discussion? Okay, we can move on to action items. The first action items, technical equipment. AS will approve $400 to pay for technical equipment for the AS board. Mackenzie, if you'd like to speak on that.
Yep, that's me. All right. So I got this information from Carrie, pretty straightforward. We need to pay for some technical equipment and it's going to cost us $400. And so, yeah, Carrie, is there anything else we need to explain on this? We just got to pay for tech equipment.
Yeah, and also just for the record, so that everyone is clear that these items and the public is clear that these items are on loan to you as an AS member to do your job holding meetings. And once we hit June, we'll ask for those items back, along with the hotspots and laptops if we loan those out.
Also, wait, Carrie, question. So since Kelly is chairing, does that mean I'm able to make motions during this meeting?
Yes, you are.
I love that. I can get my name on the minutes.
Your name's everywhere.
It is, but not for motions. Can I? Oh, wait, hold on. So I moved to approve the for AS to approve technical equipment not to exceed $400. It's coming. Oh wait, it's coming from which section of the budget did we say it was coming from? Ha! As you can see, I don't do this anymore. From out of office equipment and supplies. Did I just butcher the whole thing?
You're fine.
Now someone seconds.
Second.
All right. Okay. If we can just move on to the roll call vote, thank you. Mackenzie?
Aye.
Yay. Chris?
Aye.
Christina?
Aye.
Louise?
Aye.
Michael?
Aye.
Alex?
Aye.
Jasmine?
Aye.
Billy?
Aye.
Emmanuel?
Aye.
Kai?
Aye.
And David?
Aye.
All right, thank you so much. With that being said, AS has passed approval for the $400 paid for the technical equipment for the AS board, with nobody in opposition. All right, the next item that we have is Supreme Council appointments. It is recommended that the executive board members approve the Supreme Council appointments. Kyle, if you would like to go ahead and.
Yeah. So I have 6 appointments for the Supreme Council, and now it's finally in the correct place in the agenda. So I'm going to re-list the names. The first name is Natalie Guzman. The second is Natalia. Oh, wait. Should we do this individually, or should we have it go as an aggregate?
If you think there's going to be an objection to an individual, you do it individual. But if everyone thinks the aggregate will be fine, you can do it as an aggregate.
I don't think there should be any individual objections, but if the board feels like that's a possibility, we can do it as individual, or we can do it as a group.
I did it together last year, so you should do it together.
Okay. So the first name is Natalie Guzman. The second is Natalia Hernandez Martinez. The third is Jonathan Apodeca. The fourth is Giselle Marie Larone. The fifth is Henry Myers. And the last one is Stephanie Rubio. So I would like to entertain a motion to approve the Supreme Council appointments. Anybody first?
I will make that motion.
Any seconds?
So actually, you're not the chair, so you don't get to ask these things. You don't get to
Okay.
make, you can make a motion, you
Okay.
cannot entertain a motion.
So
Yeah.
even though it's my thing on the agenda, I can't actually entertain the motion.
No, because that is the privilege of the chair.
Interesting. Okay.
But you can make a motion. You don't have to wait for the chair. You can say, I motion too. You don't have to wait for her.
I motion to approve the Supreme Council appointments.
He can't actually make motions regarding Supreme Council subjects.
He can't. He's a member.
He can't vote or make motions.
Oh, that's right.
Huh?
I'm sorry. I forget. This is how much we value you both. I forget you all can't do that. Do y'all understand why?
Is it because of his own committee?
Because he's not a
Conflict of
voting member.
interest.
Yeah. So someone help him out here, please.
But I will move to appoint the aforementioned names. to the
Ooh.
council.
Do you have a second?
I second.
Oh, you're right. Okay, moved by David, second by Alex. Go ahead and I'm gonna do a roll call vote, starting with Mackenzie.
Aye.
Okay, Chris.
Aye.
Christina.
Aye.
Louise.
Aye.
Michael. Michael.
Aye.
Yes, thank you, Alex. Or you can say no. No, I'm not pressuring you. Jasmine.
Aye.
Philly.
Aye.
Emmanuel.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
And David.
Aye.
Okay, thank you so much. That being said, we've gone ahead and passed the Supreme Council appointments with the aforementioned names. Okay, all right, we're gonna move on to discussion items. So the first item is the event collaborative with Transfer Center. It is recommended that the executive board members discuss the event collaborative with Transfer Center. I can turn this over to Dion.
Hello, my lovely AX people. How are you doing today?
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know. It's so crazy, right? It was just like 2 seconds ago, I was in y'all seats getting bugged by people who PPC because we know that you all have access to all the students. I personally know that. So that's why I'm here today to bug y'all. No, but one, I just wanted to say congratulations on your spoken word event last night. I caught the end of it. It was really good. It's good that you all are still trying to be engaged with the students in this time. I know it's kind of hard. And then two, I want to tell you why I'm really here. So if you don't know, I work for the Transfer Center now, and a part of my job is to work with a program called Transfer Bound. It's being revamped this year. And so we are looking to outreach to more students. So I'm gonna tell you a little bit about the program. So Transfer Bound is a program geared not specifically, but geared towards African American student transfer success. As you all know, that I made like very clear that there's like less than 4% Black students at PCC, and about 2% of that, like 4%, transfer or complete fully. And so, and a part of the mission to increase those numbers, the Transfer Center is revamping the Transfer Bound program in order to just improve those numbers, right? Because we want to improve those numbers. We want to make sure that all students feel welcomed, but especially the ones who slip through the cracks. So I am here today to ask you if you all had time like next month. I know next month is like homecoming, I think, or was that this month? Anyway, but I know homecoming is coming up, and I know that that's a really busy time for you all. So I was just wondering to see if you all would possibly be available to collaborate on an event with the Transfer Bound program, as far as having like a panel, because I know many of you are transferring this year. You might have already started your application process. You might be waiting until November so you can feel that pressure. But it's basically going to be an event where we're talking about the the pros and cons of transferring, and we want to not only talk to some students who are transferring, but we want the student government to kind of like help promote this event so we can reach out to more students, because the events we put on right now, we have like five people come, and I know that there's more students out there trying to transfer, so that's one of the reasons why we're here. And also the transfer center is trying to plan university night. We had university day I think in September, where a bunch of reps come out from colleges to talk to students about transferring or what that process is like. So we're going to do it again in the nighttime. But we don't have that many people to facilitate each like session. So I'm also asking to see if you all would like to help facilitate university night, if y'all have the time, because I know you all are busy. So that's what I'm here for. Do you have any questions? Are you down?
I have a question. This is so exciting. Also, how many people do you need? Maybe we can.
So for the transfer bound program, for the transfer bound event, I would need probably like 3 or 4 people. Mm-hmm. And I think I would need like 3 or 4 people as well for the university night. It depends on how many staff members are available, but I have to check back when I meet back with Tamika, the director, and see where we're going with that. And then I can tell y'all the number that we need actually.
Are there tentative dates for these events?
Huh?
Are there tentative dates for these events?
Yes, there is. Let me see, because I have the calendar. Hold on. I'm gonna pull up the calendar right now. But I know it's either going to be the 2nd or 3rd week of November, because I know like the last week of November is Thanksgiving, so we're not gonna be here. So come on, Outlook. Mm-hmm.
So for transfer bound, do you guys get your events onto the PCC website?
So no, not really. So how, like, because like the guy IT, Michael.
Eric, yeah.
Yes. So he's been working with my partner Ariel with launching the Transferbound website, but for some reason it just gets the project is getting pushed back. So we try to get them to update the Transfer Center calendar with the events that happen too. But things they don't, I don't know, they go slow. So like, and because Transferbound is like a program that's getting revamped, it kind of just gets pushed back because it's like not prominent like Ujima or like Black Academia, you know what I mean? Because it's sort of like a new program.
Dion, do you remember how to use Lancer Life?
I mean, so sort of.
Okay, why don't you
I
all
know how to like register people on Lancer Life.
Why don't you contact me later and we can give Transfer Center a site and you can now put these things out as events for the club.
Okay. That could work too, Command.
Well, it's something. It's more than Instagram and not quite the web page, but we'll get there.
Right, and people look at. Come on, man.
Yeah, we have a lot of clubs using it too, so it's kind of ground.
Just throwing it in there too. I work closely with Michael and Dave Steinman, who's the video person on campus, putting together Club Rush. So the virtual Club Rush. So not that I want to take on the responsibility because I have a lot as is, but I can definitely give you some advice or suggestions if you want to launch something on the PCC website. And yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I can definitely work with you on that. So University Day is scheduled for, I think, Wednesday, November 18th. That's what I'm looking at. I have to check again with Tamika to make sure that's the confirmed date. But as for right now, that's the date that I see on the calendar. But I also can work with Chris and Carrie about getting stuff up on Lancer Life. And yeah, but thank you. So I just want to say thank you because, it's a struggle.
What time are you talking about for?
So if it's considered nighttime, it's probably going to be from like 4 to 6. It's not going to be like actual nighttime. It's still going to be within the school hours. So yeah, it could either be from 4 to 6 or 5 to 7 p.m.
Yeah, I think a few of us are probably really interested. Maybe like if we're interested, we could put our like name in the comment box, and then you can take the names down and then email them when you have like a date or like a set time.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
Yay! I'll put my name in the top. Kelly. Okay.
Do you just want AS members or do you want students, like their committee members?
I think the transfer center wants AS members because they are responsible adults and they trust them because they are in charge of all the students.
Okay.
Yeah. And they were just like, "Oh, Dion, do you still talk to AS?" And I was just like, sure. I can ask them some questions, but I don't know if they want to be bothered. Okay. Oh snap! There's so many. There's like, oh.
Me.
Okay.
I think you got a good chunk of the board willing to come help you.
Yay! I'm so excited. Honestly, because it's gonna be fun. And it's gonna be a lot of information that's gonna be given out, and information that you all could use yourselves because a number of you are transferring, and if you're not transferring, it's still information you can use in the future for when you do transfer. And it's a way to also get AS out there and just more networking. Oh, I don't think that was for me. So I don't know if I'm gonna delete that. Okay, Carrie?
Well, no, I was gonna ask you to talk about it, but keep going. When you're done, I want you to talk about something.
Oh, okay. So I was like, what? So do you think? Yeah. Yes, Christina. So yeah, but that's about it. That's all I wanted to ask you. So thank you all for talking to me and helping me out. I really do appreciate that. I will be emailing those who put their emails in the chat. I will be emailing you with confirmation of all these things once I meet with my boss, and then we can just move forward and work on what's going to happen. I miss y'all. I love y'all. I wish I was on campus so I can come bug y'all in person, even though it's kind of nerve-wracking standing in that office or in that, it's an office room upstairs in 212. But yes, thank you for your time. I will not take up more of your time. I will talk to you all later. And I hope you all have fun and have a good, rest of your year. Oops. Hold on.
Hey, Dion, before you go, can you just speak? You went to the CCLC conference last fall. Can you just give them their opinion? I'm trying to get folks to register to go.
Okay, so CCLC, if you plan on working with Kelly and the lobby committee, you should go. because they talk about a lot of legislative things. They talk about a lot of the things that are going on in the community college realm. You get to meet and network with a lot of CEOs, which are AKA presidents of colleges. You get to work with vice presidents of colleges, deans, directors, all these sorts of people who want to help students succeed, especially in the community college area. It's very informative. It is kind of boring, I'm not gonna lie, but like that's because you are like the only, I'm not gonna call y'all kids, but y'all are like the only kids there. You know what I mean? Like there's not that many like
students,
you know what I mean? There's a lot of adults because it's like it's like about business and networking. And if you're interested in politics, if you're interested in becoming an educator, I definitely suggest you go, because that's where you're going to see how they conduct their business and what they actually talk about and the presentations they put together to help things and to help groups of people who are not or like it's about equity. A lot of the things that they talk about is about equity. And you just get, so like I met Dr. Edward Bush. He is the lead dude of Amend. I met the president of Compton College, Keith Curry. I met there's so many people that I forget because like we were just being shuffled around by the trustees. They were like, meet our students, they're so great. But yeah, I would encourage you to go just so you can be informed. They talk about a lot of legislation that does not get talked about in the mass media that deals directly with community college students. So if you were, like I said, interested in working with Kelly in the lobby committee, you should sign up. If you're interested in being in politics, you should sign up. If you're interested in being in the education system, like myself, you should sign up. I think Carrie put a link in the chat, Philly.
Yeah, it's free this year. So thank you, Dion,
for free.
That's why I'm telling them it's free. They all should go. Thank you for sharing your experience.
Yeah.
Yes, it was a little boring. Yeah.
So all the stuff is boring, but it's very informational and you get to learn a lot of stuff on the inside. So you should go. But all right, y'all, have a nice meeting. I will email those who gave me their email. I will connect with Chris and Carrie about Lancer Life, and I'll talk to you all later. Love you. Many blessings. Bye, Carrie. Bye, Jordan. Bye, everyone.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna make my committee members go to that thing. They're gonna, anyways. Okay. So the second item we have is Election Day Watch Party Drive-Through Giveaway Event, and that is me. Mackenzie, if you can pull up the doc I just shared with you. Expensive stay. So sad.
Yeah, there's no hotel this time. It's free. That's why I'm offering it to everybody.
Yeah, before it was an exclusive thing.
Oh yeah, they stayed at they stayed at a really scary hotel, then they stayed at a really nice hotel.
Oh, there was a scary one? Oh my gosh, that's kind of sketchy.
Yeah.
So this is a list that I compiled with Carrie. If you click on the first one, just so they can kind of take a look at what the little American flags look like. Oh, not that one. Oh, actually, yeah, ignore that first link. Yeah, click on the green links. There you go. So we were thinking of, making a little goodie bag with things that are patriotic just to get them kind of inspired to come to the watch party. So we're going to give them little flags. And then if you could go back to the document. And then also these little patriotic headbands. Look how cute these are. That's pretty cute, right? That's pretty cute. All right. And let's go back to the document.
Wait, look it. It's not a dog.
It's a dog. The product is good when they use like a dog as a
dog not included.
They should have put that in there. Yeah, exactly. I was gonna order 24 dogs for all those. If you click on the stickers, we're also gonna get them some stickers. Okay, voter. It's pretty cute.
For all our Hydro Flask people out there.
Right. And then we also have fleece throws. God, I cannot speak. This is from IKEA. We love IKEA. And look, they're $1.99. We can buy.
We're getting blankets?
Galore. Yeah, we're going to get them blankets. Look at this. It's pretty lit.
It's cold.
Exactly. It's getting cold, guys. You guys feel that you guys have to wear like a sweater now in the house, 'cause that's how I feel. Hand sanitizers. I think Alex and Carrie at the committee at the student sorry, I cannot think. The student services committee? Student campus activities, sorry. Campus activities committee, you guys are talking about like what would make people actually come, and hand sanitizer was a big deal. So we're gonna get them a lot of hand sanitizer, and we're gonna order more so you guys can use it at your other events too. Okay, and then the cotton tote bags, if you can click on the first bag. Oh, sorry, it's right. Sorry, I didn't highlight it, but it's right
I was
there.
just checking for the green just in case.
Oh yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, I should have highlighted it. And then Carrie and I are working on getting these printed for the AS logo on it. We're gonna get a lot. I think we're gonna get about 150 if I'm not wrong. So we can use it for a lot of things. And they're, yeah, just go back. Yeah, they're gonna be about like $2 each. And we still have to pay for shipping and also like express printing. So it's going to be a little bit more expensive, but it should be okay. We do have a pretty large budget that we need to use. So, okay, go back to the document. There we go. And then if you go down to food, there's a bunch of links. Or don't click on that one. Sorry, that was a mistake. Yeah, sorry. Go down to food, the really highlighted food. Yeah, there you go.
Right down
and
here?
then, yeah, I think it's that one. Yeah, the first link.
We're just buying a lot of food.
Yeah, we're just buying a lot of food. We're gonna get stuff like this, and then we're gonna go to what's the place called?
This one says currently
Costco.
unavailable.
Well, it's okay. We just bought it. So it's already in our cart. Yeah. But don't worry. And everything else, all the other food like popcorn and chips, we're gonna go to Smart and Final. Smart and Final is what it's called. Yeah. And then some popcorn too, maybe. And then we'll have a lot of food in that bag along with patriotic items. If there's anything else that you think like we missed that's like really major, I guess you can let me know. But other than that, I think that's a pretty hefty bag. So in total, the previous total was about like 1,200 after we edited everything, or approximating about 450 for Amazon supplies, 300 for food that we're buying from vendors like Smart and Final, and then 350 for the bag. So it should still be under our budget. I do have $30,000 set aside for on-campus events. So we're putting a little dent in there, just to let you guys know. We don't have to approve of anything just because we've already approved of the lobby budget, but just as courtesy, I wanted you guys to see what we were buying and how much we were spending. But yeah, that's it. If you can maybe, I think Mackenzie, I think I sent you the flyers for the watch party event. Yeah. Okay. And then, so this is a flyer I made. I don't know if you guys think it looks kind of strange. Let me know now.
I don't want to zoom in that much.
Wow.
And maybe I was thinking like of maybe adding some more descriptive words. I want them to know what they're getting. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a collage with like all the little items. Do you guys think that's a good idea? Because I don't want them to be like, oh, like, why are we driving up there for what? For like a bag of chips? Yeah, but this is kind of what it looks like. I'm going to create a separate flyer for the Foothill and Rosemead campus when we finalize the times, so they can have a poster each. Okay, and then if you go to the second poster.
So I think on these, you also need to tell people where they need to go to pick up.
Yeah, that's true. Because on the other flyer, Mackenzie, sorry, if you can go back again. It says that the pickup is at Green Street and Hill Avenue, but I honestly don't know if that's descriptive enough. I'm also confused.
Yeah, because you remember I told you you've got these different places and people need to know where. So I think Green Street and Hill is fine. You can see the turnaround at Green Street and Hill. And the thing you're going to have to also remember that this is also election day, and it just occurred to me as I was walking into campus, and PCC is a voting site. So it might be a little hectic.
Yeah, exactly. Huh.
And you need to make sure you let people know where to pick up on Rosemead as well.
Yeah, that's true. Is there a specific like location? I think it was called like, I know it was like outdoor kind of like concrete.
I sent you the map.
The map, right? Okay. And I think there was a name on it. Maybe I'll I don't know how like put a map on the poster. Is that kind of?
Well, this is why you need to work with your publicity, because these are the facts. It's about how you're communicating your information. So I would also talk to Jasmine, who also lived through one of these experiences.
Yeah.
How she handled that.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, I just kind of wanted to bring this to you guys to see if you guys had any advice on how you guys would, what would entice you to come,
Well, for clarification, you could put the what's it called, the turnabout next to the bookstore.
Turnabout next to the bookstore. Okay.
So people can identify a location rather than like streets. Because when I read streets, I'm like, where is that?
Yeah. Okay.
I don't
yeah,
do streets. I need pinpoints.
Right. It's called the Fern.
I
Sorry.
made those maps that you could probably use. You could probably reuse. Like they're on our Instagram.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's like an actual map with the set location. So
That one is also kind of hard to visualize though, especially if you don't live in Pasadena. Like it's kind of hard to know where exactly you're looking at. But I think if you put like, oh, next to the bookstore, then like people know where that is.
Could you
Or
put
they
a
can
link?
at least.
Could you put a link to, for example, like Google Maps, and then have it go directly to the location you want?
Ooh, that's good. That's true. In the whenever we post this on Instagram, when I work that out with Philly, we can maybe put a link in the description with the map.
You can put a pin on a Google map and you can link to those longitude and latitude coordinates. So.
Oh, that sounds good. Google Map pin. Okay. Interesting. And then if I let's say if we make like a montage, or not a montage, like a collage of all the different items, is that weird, or do you guys would like to see everything? Or do you think it should be more of a surprise, like a mystery, like snack supplies blanket? Is it enough description, or would you like to see a picture of what you're getting?
Well, instead of having snack supplies or blanket, what about you put mystery grab bag?
Oh, mystery grab. Let me drive 20 minutes for a mystery grab bag. But you're right. That is
I don't think
enticing.
anyone would want to drive if they don't know what they're getting. I think it's important that you show them exactly what they're getting.
Yeah, if it was in person, that would probably work. But because we're remotes, they're gonna want to know what they're coming for. The idea is there, though.
Oh yes.
Advertise IKEA.
Yes.
Just say IKEA goodie. I mean, you could be vague about it, like give an idea, like brands and stuff. Just something that shows what it is.
Okay, that's good.
They
You're
don't
gonna
even
get
know
a
it's
$2
$2.
blanket. You're gonna get a $2 Swedish blanket. That's good.
They
Do you
can
guys
have a
think I
blanket
should
and hand sanitizer.
and hand sanitizer? You're right. Yeah. Do you guys think I should put that on this poster, or make because if it's on Instagram, you know how you can add multiple pictures? Do you think we should just make a separate picture for it? Yeah. Okay. All right. That's good. I guess that's all really thank you for your feedback. Yeah, I just kind of wanted to see.
This is my $2 blanket.
Exactly. Oh, you have a $2 blanket. Nice.
I don't know. Someone left this blanket in the office. I don't know whose it is. So.
Good color. It's like Gryffindor, you know. But anyways, we can go to the next poster.
Okay.
Easy. All right. And this is for the watch party event. Just a really brief rundown. I'm gonna edit this poster and then I can talk to Philly about this as well. To try and change the time. Oh.
All right. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay. I'm not gonna touch it anymore.
From 8 to 9, or we can make it a little bit earlier. I just want to a general time frame for that. I'll change the time as fittingly. But essentially, we're going to turn on YouTube Live. And before we watch the election, I'm going to give a kind of brief rundown, kind of an icebreaker, like, oh, how's everybody going? This is AS. Oh my gosh, so excited you're here. And then every 15 minutes, we're going to do this, as suggested by Carrie, a little, not a scavenger hunt. It's more so like a question answer. I'll pull up Poll Everywhere or another type of polling place and ask them little questions and do you think this, true or false? And then I'll explain the answers, such as, electoral college, faithless voters, what happens if the president doesn't accept the results, stuff like that. I think that might be interesting. So it'll happen every 15 minutes, so they still get interaction throughout the whole watch party. Yeah, that's it. That's all I really had to show you guys. We can move on to the next agenda item if you guys have nothing else to.
Kelly, I have a little question.
Oh yeah, yes, of course.
So because we have the Zoom ID on the flyer, do we have any sort of plan or anything in case of Zoom bombing? Because I know that happened to an event Jasmine was at, because Zoom ID was shared. People kept showing up and messing with the events. So I'm wondering if we have anything for that.
I kind of wish we had that kind of activity, just any kind of participation. But you're right. I think my Zoom, I'll correct my Zoom ID, but my actual Zoom ID, it has what does it have? It has waiting room, so I can see who's coming and I can kick them out.
You have Kelly, because you have a Confer account. Do you have a way of creating a registration?
I've actually never done that. I think, let me see if I can do it. Go to Zoom, my profile.
I mean, if anything, Carrie, I think my account has it, right? Like where she can set that up. So if anything, she can always use mine.
Yeah, and I think maybe I don't know how to do it because I might have one too, but that would be the best way is if you force people to register. So I think QA does that because then we have their names.
That's true. That's true. Oh, you know what? I'm also going to make a Google form for people that attend so they can fill it out so we can keep track of who's attending our events.
Yeah, but if I'm photobombing, I'm not going to stop to fill out your Google form.
That's true. Like, screw your Google form, Kelly. Yeah, you're right. Okay. Sounds good.
I mean, technically, you could put a password if you really wanted to protect it, but you don't know who's going to join anyway, so it's kind of hard. And even if you have a waiting room, it still is an issue.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, if I put a password, I don't want people like, oh, there's a password. Where do I find the password? And like not find the password and then like not join.
Well, which I like Christina's idea is that you go through in your settings and it's not, you have to go to your web page when you click on the settings and go in detail and mute everybody and just turn off chat or you turn off chat.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Disable their First Amendment right.
Yeah. Just at a meeting that, trying to promote democracy and, and civic engagement, we mute everybody. I love that.
Yeah. I mean, the option to do a webinar, because if you could do a webinar, then they have to register and people are less likely to be assholes if we've got their information.
A webinar is an extra paid Zoom package, so I don't know if you can do that.
Oh, we got to figure out how Matt does it.
Yeah, that's a good question. How does PCC have access to webinar? Because I don't know if we subscribe to it.
We must, because that's how Matt does his stuff.
I mean, we could just have like a few of us dedicated to moderating everything.
I think that's a good idea too. Who's going to be there for that night?
I will.
Okay.
Yay, Alex.
I can go. I don't know.
So like at the beginning of your event, just make those people co-hosts so that they have access to like kick people out.
Yeah, you're right. That's a good idea. Okay, then I guess is there anything else on this? Maybe I can, I'm writing down all your things so I can incorporate that and make sure that we don't have no Zoom bombs. No Zoom bombs. Make chat to host only. Yeah, exactly. I don't want people gossiping in the chats. That's so sad. Yeah. I think with that, we can move on to the next item. I think Francis has been waiting. The importance of pronouns, guest speaker. It is recommended that executive board members discuss the importance of pronouns. And I'll go ahead and hand it over to our amazing secretary, Francis.
Hello, y'all. I am Francis. Nice to meet y'all. As you can see in my name, I do use they, them pronouns. I am non-binary. I understand that I am physically perceived as a female, which can be, I guess, confusing for some people, but it's also respectful to use my correct pronouns. Also, I know I'm turning red. I'm not used to speaking and I blush very easily, as a lot of people can attest to. So today I'm just gonna talk at you. I don't have a presentation because I don't wanna like fill your head with a bunch of information and graphics that you won't remember. So I just wanna like talk to y'all 1 on 10. There's like 10 of you guys. So hopefully y'all have some questions for me that I can attest to and provide my personal experience. That's like a disclaimer for this as well. I don't speak for every trans individual. I don't speak for the LGBT community. I speak as a trans individual myself, and I speak as myself for any answers I'm giving. So yeah, kind of moving on with the importance of pronouns. So it is definitely important to introduce yourself with your pronouns as well. Like, hi, my name's Francis. I use they, them pronouns. And if you like forget to do that, usually some people ask as well, but by doing that, like it gives you the opportunity to put pronouns as like an important part of your identity, as well as it takes the pressure off of anyone else you're meeting to like ask for them, especially if other people have social anxiety and they don't feel like good asking you, or sometimes people feel uncomfortable with asking like personal information like that, even though we should normalize and destigmatize pronouns as well. So it's not just like an in-person thing. You should also like put your pronouns in your bio. I have my pronouns in my bio. I have friends who put their pronouns in their bio, and it's not just like an LGBTQ thing. It's not just a trans thing. It definitely extends to the straight and cis community as well, because as like a trans individual and as a queer individual, we're definitely part of the minority. So if we have like the majority cisgender and heterosexual individuals doing it as well, it helps destigmatize and normalize the use of pronouns. And it also helps us as trans individuals like not get like bullied or attacked, like, hey, like you're using your pronouns, like I see you using your pronouns, and like cisgender people don't use their pronouns, so like you're trans, like, and I'm gonna bully you for being trans. And like that sounds like horrible and it sounds like silly, but it does happen, and people are targeted for like displaying their pronouns. Yes, I saw in the chat Carrie did ask if I could explain cisgender. So cisgender is identifying with the your assigned gender or sex at birth. So if you were biologically born female and you identify as female, for example, sorry, Mackenzie, I'm gonna use Mackenzie. Mackenzie was born and is born as a female. She identifies as a female, and because those two identities are one and the same, she is cisgendered. Unlike me, I was born a female. I identify as non-binary. So I am transgender, and like kind of delving into that as well. Transgender is a whole umbrella. So there could be like transgender individuals who are gender fluid. There's some like myself who are non-binary, or also like agender, where you don't identify with the gender, or you identify with like one or more genders, like even simultaneously. Yeah, so when you hear someone like using trans, it's not just like assigned female at birth or assigned male at birth, it's a whole umbrella as well. So yeah, if you are cisgender, I definitely encourage you to like normalize and like advocate for the importance of pronouns as well. I have some notes here. I'm not just like ignoring y'all. But yeah, by like including your pronouns, it definitely helps like discourage transphobic individuals from targeting transgender individuals. And like by placing such importance on pronouns and like asking people like, hey, this is my name, what are your pronouns? My pronouns are this. Like that helps make it normal again, and it helps with the issue of misgendering individuals. So yeah, for example, like I get misgendered a lot, and I've definitely misgendered people myself. Like if you're a trans individual or you're like LGBTQ, you're like not automatically like perfect at like stating people's pronouns. And that also goes into like what to do when you misgender someone. And the answer is apologize. Don't make a big deal out of it. By making a big deal out of it and you're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, like I didn't mean that, it places like action with the individual you misgendered to console you and to tell you like it's all right when they're the one who is hurt and they're the one who like quote unquote is attacked, even though it was accidental. So if I am misgendered by, again, I'm just using Mackenzie as an example to make it like easier for y'all to understand. If Mackenzie says like, oh, hey, Francis, I saw you, like is referring to me like as a she, I would like, well, sometimes like people don't even do this, but I would hopefully say, oh, like Mackenzie, thanks, I understand like your intentions are well or whatever, but I actually use they them pronouns. So Mackenzie would say, oh, I'm sorry, and in her own time she would practice using pronouns. She would just apologize and correct her statement with my correct pronouns, but she wouldn't like make a deal out of it where I have to console her and it's turned into a thing where it's me like consoling her and it's like my issue because she messed up, kind of. But yeah, it's definitely a learning experience. Everyone has the permission to learn. We all make mistakes. Yeah, and when you misgender someone, it just definitely contributes to gender dysphoria. So like that kind of happens. I don't know. I'm not like, all the terms I'm using are like big terms and I don't want to like put it in your head that there's one definition, but the definition I'm loosely explaining is like gender dysphoria. Like I'm a non-binary individual, but I do I feel like this is gonna get personal. Y'all are gonna gonna know me more. We're getting intimate here. But I do have female body parts, and like looking at my body and becoming acquainted with my body and seeing those on my body when they don't when they don't like, yeah, Jordan, feel free to like jump in whenever. I know like I'm not saying everything like exactly with the correct terminology or the correct definitions. I'm just like a student trying to get my way through here. But yeah, dysphoria, it's uncomfortable. I see parts of myself that don't relate or correlate to how I see myself in my head and who I actually am. And that like, that's not a good feeling. And misgendering someone has like contributes to that as well. So yeah, Jordan, feel free to add.
No, you're doing a really, really great job. So don't sell yourself short. I think I think there's two things for me when it comes to pronouns that I have to explain to people. One of them is that if you identify as cisgendered, which for example, I identify as a cisgendered male, that alone, and especially like when we talk about privilege, cisgendered people are privileged, right? Because I don't necessarily have to walk around and say I'm a he. That is a privilege that I've lived with and that I will live with, right? What pronouns allow is people that aren't privileged, like Francis, like other trans identified individuals or individuals that don't identify as the sex they were assigned at birth. That allows you as a privileged individual to express your allyship and to express your support for the trans community. So it's simple. It's very simple. By just putting your pronouns, you're saying, hey, this is a brave space for you to be. I recognize that you may identify as something that I don't. And so I'm willing to go that extra step to get to know you a little bit better. Also keep in mind, as an individual and as a privileged person with your cisgender identity, you're not pervy and you're not technically allowed to ask people why they identify as those pronouns, right? Like Carrie put in the chat, that is their journey, that is their experience, that is what they are going through. And so even just by putting your pronouns, which I do in everywhere that I go, even in class, in my regular class, when I'm in a meeting with professionals, when I'm meeting with legislators, right? I still put my pronouns and I still get questions about it. They're like, why do you put that? And I'm like, well, you know, you got to like gauge that. Is this an educational moment? And yes, it is. You just got to teach them a little bit. So keep all of those things in mind, right? Like don't ask them why they identify as that. Just accept that that's who they identify as. And then on top of that, keep in mind that if you do identify as cisgendered, there is a privilege with that, right? Like with me walking around as a cisgendered male, I have to recognize that. And I also have to open myself up to be like in these conversations, to listen to Francis and be like, okay, cool. How can I support you? What is the best opportunity for me to show allyship, right? So I just wanted to add those two things in.
Great, thank you for your additions. They're very, yeah, I love them.
It's also good to see
yeah,
you.
kind of. Huh?
It's good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while.
I know, I haven't seen you either. Hello. I'm still around. I'll be around. I'll be bugging all y'all. Yeah, definitely on the topic of that. It's also not enough to just put your pronouns in your bio. You have to actively like research pronouns. You have to actively use them. You have to practice on your own time, not just in front of your friends, not just in front of your trans friends that use them as well. And like kind of more on pronouns, there are different pronouns. So there, like Jordan uses he, him, his, Mackenzie uses she, her, hers. I use they, them, theirs. There's also there's a bunch, honestly, and I couldn't even tell you all of them. There's z, them, zer, and people also use it, its. That's also a pronoun that people use. Yeah. I don't know if anyone has any questions. I don't know if I have anything else to add myself, but I'm free right now. I'm free anytime y'all want to reach out to me. I'm pretty sure all y'all have me on Instagram. You definitely have my email, and Mackenzie can give you my number for any questions or comments you might have after this presentation at any time. But if any of y'all have questions right now, I'm more than happy to answer them. But if not, then I think I'm done.
Yay, thank you, Francis. That was really great. Yeah, I'm really glad to see you again. Like I felt like I never met with you, but now I have. I think our next item is.
I was going to add one thing. And
Yeah,
to see,
go
does anyone else have anything to say? Because I think this was a pretty impactful piece.
I just have a question. Just because we're all in this kind of virtual space, I wanted to ask you, what are the kind of the ways that we could promote kind of like a culture where people feel comfortable, people who don't identify as cisgender, to sort of make their pronouns known, because sometimes that culture doesn't exist. And so like what kind of responsibilities you see as cisgender people to like, sort of promote that culture, and how can we do that?
I mean, definitely like sometimes like myself as well. There are instances where I don't even put my pronouns in my name, like on Zoom, because maybe I'm not out in a certain class or I'm not out to a certain person. And for that, it would just be like important, like even as cis people, like even now, y'all can put your pronouns in your names on Zoom. And it's definitely less scary for y'all because you are cisgender, but a trans person seeing that will definitely feel more welcomed. It's not something you can do necessarily. It's just like it's like a vibe, I guess. Like during your icebreakers as well for events, you can also, like when everyone's introducing yourselves, like make sure you can include your pronouns. You can say like, oh, hi, my name's Francis. I use they, them pronouns, and we're gonna go around and do this icebreaker, introduce ourselves. And if you're comfortable, feel free to share your pronouns. You definitely wanna make sure never to pressure anyone as well, even if they are out. Yeah.
Thank you.
I was just going to share 2 years ago, 3 years ago, for AS to be the only group to do a land acknowledgement was pretty unique. We were the only ones. The Board of Trustees didn't do it. So you all were the first folks out there. But if you notice now, more and more folks are doing it because as we talk about it, it normalizes the conversation. So that's why I feel really important. That's why I ask you what your pronouns are. That's why I ask you to put them on your Zoom if you're comfortable, because the more we open up this conversation, the more common it is, and that we treat it as if, why wouldn't you do this? If you're comfortable, the easier it becomes for other folks to do this, right? So that's, the piece. And I think for everyone to understand that how you come to be and how you come to identify, it's a journey. It's a process. Where you are now will not be where you are when you're 30. Okay? So, just take it in. If you don't understand it, take it in. If anything else that I can help you understand with is that if you can feel, by acknowledging someone's gender or their pronouns, it's a way of showing respect, because you're saying, thank you, I see you, and I acknowledge you, and I understand that's how you want to be addressed. It's almost like the day when we used to do this 10 years ago. I would have international students, and they would say, oh, my name is John. And I'm like, really? Is your name John? And they're like, no, it's actually, so-and-so and so-and-so, but people can't say it. And I'm like, well, let's make the point of actually using the name you were given, because do you want to use that? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, because that's respectful to use the name that you're given, right? And this is the same thing. So if folks choose to share their pronouns, I think we should do the best to use them. And if we make a mistake, say, sorry, my bad, and move on. It's not up to them to make us feel better. It's our mistake. We learn from it and we go on. But the more we have these conversations, the more we normalize it. And the fact that then this shows that you all are leaders. And that's what we're looking for, is leadership. Because we currently have leadership at the highest levels of the country who choose to ignore this, who choose to denigrate and tear down. So I'm hoping we can use this as a way, as your leadership is to build up and celebrate. So that's all.
The chills.
Yeah. To kind of add on to that is a final note. Like Carrie said, it's definitely a journey. It's a mission. Things are changing all the time. Situations, experiences, people, and terminology always changes. I know at the beginning of this year, I wasn't out. I wasn't using my own correct pronouns when introducing myself to other people. I was very passive about my pronouns, and that's not something that you should be as well. And also, in addition to pronouns, make sure you're referring to people by their correct name. I know a lot of trans individuals change their name, and you might have known them by their dead name, or you might have known them by a nickname like associated with that. And it's important to remember to start using the name they're telling you as well as the pronouns they're telling you, because they're the person and they know what's best and they know who they are. I think that's it for me.
Does anyone else want to chime in? Because I think I want to say, yeah, it's like this like kind of journey towards, you know, like having leadership make this into a second nature, you know, for people to just introduce themselves this way. And then maybe like, I guess in my committee, something that I probably want to do is bring this up as well and just have everyone rename themselves in their Zoom meetings. It's not very hard. Yeah, so maybe in other committees, we can also kind of encourage that. That'd be really good. But yeah, if there's nothing else on this or anything we can talk about, we can move on to our next item. It's invited guests, and I think Mackenzie can go ahead and take that from here.
We have no invited guests.
Oh, I just pressed the wrong button. Well, since I've already exposed myself. The next item is AS trainings. It's recommended that the executive board members discuss AS training, and this is also Mackenzie.
And for this, I'll turn it over to Carrie. Do you have anything for the group?
I do. I just want to make sure that you all, can you allow me to share?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let me review some PowerPoint pieces for you all. I'll send you all these transcripts. But what we need to make sure that you understand, I reviewed these last week, right? Did I review this part over here with you all? No, yes. If I don't hear from you, I'll go through it again.
I think we covered it. I want to say we did.
We covered it.
You did. Okay. So you all definitely understand then when you do these requisitions, because we're now starting to come up with them, so that we need to have those minutes, we need to have the backup documents and how to process the forms, correct? You all know how to do that? Because if you don't, I'll make you sit through the lecture again. Okay, so I get the feeling you don't know how to process your forms. So tell me, what's the first thing you do? And this is where it becomes interactive, and the more you share, the quicker we'll get through this. What happens? What do you want to do? What's the first thing you want to do when you want to do an event that involves money?
Create a budget.
That's right, create a budget. So your budget, you need to create your budget. And what backup documents do you need with your budget?
I want to say an ARF form.
Yep. What else besides an ARF?
The meeting minutes.
Thank you. Great. What else?
Itemized list. I mean, maybe that's the budget.
That's okay. That's good. I do like itemized. The more information you need. So definitely. So where else? So when you create a budget and you're gathering all this document, what's the next step? Can you just spend money out of your account any way you want? Where do you have to take it to?
To the board?
Yes, thank you. Except for you, Kelly, because your money's already been approved.
Yeah.
So what's the cutoff limit? How much can I spend without having to come to you for permission?
$3,000.
$3,000. That's really good. I can have a lot of fun with $3,000.
300.
300. Yes, $299.99. Your headphones came up to $283. That's why I had to come to the board to ask for that money. So I've got a budget. I've got the backup documents. I've completed an ARF. I'm coming to the board. When does the information need to go to Mackenzie to be put on the agenda?
Oh, Thursday before 11:59, the week before.
Yes.
Know that now.
Yes. And you have to have that all done, right? Okay. So you get the board agenda. So you've got your budget, you've got all your backup documents, you've brought it to the board approves it. Do you need, actually before the board approves it, what other documents do you need to send to the board?
the budget, like what you're buying?
The proposal, yeah.
Proposal.
So let's do a little bit of practice because you all need to do this because I'm finding sometimes your agenda items are a little bit vague. I want to spend $300. I want to spend $500 on buying oranges for Kelly's event. Someone tell me how I word that as an agenda item. Someone who has not spoken yet.
So doesn't it start with, it is recommended that the board approves the spending of this amount, X amount of money, and then, yeah.
X amount of money. What else? What else is the agenda?
Out of the categorized budget that matches whatever we're spending.
Yes. So understand when you put an agenda item, that's the only thing you can address. You have backup documents and generally they need to match. If they don't match, then there's sometimes an issue, but the one that always wins out is what was posted in the agenda. So it probably should read, it is recommended that the Associate Students Board approve an expenditure of $500 coming from giveaways to pay for oranges for the election night giveaway on November 2nd. So what's the key pieces of information that I put in that sentence right there?
Who's gonna approve it, what you're approving of, how much it is, and then when you're gonna approve it. Right.
Close, not when I'm gonna approve of it, but
when are you gonna spend it? Or
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going through this all, so now you all, because you're all starting to do activities and you're all gonna have to start doing budgets. And so we cannot have mistakes on the budget, right? So make sure you all can do this. So I've got my budget, I've got my invoices, I've got my board item, it's been approved, I have my minutes. What do I do next?
We send it, or we send it to Mackenzie, and then it's added onto the meeting minutes, and then it's up for approval. Yeah.
So after it's been approved, what's the next thing?
I believe, I guess this process would be different because we're not on campus, but also wouldn't we pass it on to the VP of business?
Mm-hmm. And then what else?
Then the VP of business takes it from the budget.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I guess like this is the part where I don't know what's next.
So look at the slide that can you all see my slide?
Yeah.
So take a look at that.
It depends on the amount. If it's over 3,000, we need the board of trustees. And then we gotta submit it to their agenda, ensure that it goes on there on time if we want to spend anything.
I'm not trying to make this hard for you all. What I'm trying
Before
to
that, we need to submit a requisition form to Ms. Sharon, including the budget and the copy of the meeting minutes that the budget was approved at.
Yep. So you're going to send this, depending on your item, you'll work with Michael, and Michael may say submit it to Sharon, or you submit to Michael, and then Michael submits the paperwork. But you need to make sure, if you look at all this information that I have on the slide, complete your requisition form, submit your paperwork, and understand that your amount that you want to spend is over $3,000. It's got to go to the Board of Trustees, and you've got to do this in advance. Now, also consider about the cost of things, because right now I've been floating you all. I've been buying stuff on my credit card and just getting reimbursed. But if we can, it's also acceptable to get a check cut in advance to send to these folks, so that way we don't have to come out of pocket. And there's also something about a purchase order that you can do. Okay, I want you to think about these things. Just don't leave it to the last minute and make assumptions that stuff is going to get done, right? You only can, there's a saying, you can only do that, you know, you wear out your welcome. There's only so many times that we can do this as AS. So now I want you to make sure you all understand your process, which is why I really want you to understand that I'm showing you these slides, right? If you decide to have a speaker or venue, you know, a speaker or performer, same process. You have to get your budget, you have to get your group to approve of it. You need to complete the forms, and you need to request tax paper forms. You get those from Sharon. And then again, you submit all the paperwork to Sharon, okay? And all of these things, anything over 3,000, any contract needs to go to Mike Bush. Okay. Do you all know what a requisition form looks like?
It's like this half sheet that has like, I just got one in my email like 2 days ago.
You have it there. Can you pull it up?
Yeah.
Carrie, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
If you already know that it's going to be like $4,000, would you bring it to the board of trustees first or buy everything and submit the receipts first?
So someone answer that question for her based on the slide that you saw.
Oh.
I'm going to ask you answer her question, y'all, because you seem to, you all say that I've told you this.
Wait, repeat your question.
Okay, so if you already know that your budget is going to be over $3,000, would you, like, after the AS board approves it, would you go to the board of trustees first before you buy anything, or would you submit the forms first and buy everything first?
Submit the forms. No, submit the forms first, then don't buy anything yet, and then
Don't buy anything.
let it get approved, and then, I mean, that's what you're supposed to do. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I
Because
think according to the slides. Yeah.
Imagine if
the
you buy all
sequence
this
of the
stuff.
arrows.
And then it doesn't
Imagine if you buy all this stuff and the board of trustees denies your request, you'd be out over $3,000.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
very
I was just,
So no matter what, the board, the AS board has to approve it first, and then it goes to the board of trustees, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
and then the acquisition form, I guess it's not really asking for like receipts yet, right? Like the stuff that you've already bought, because then you would have already bought it.
So what's an acquisition form? I'm not following what that is.
Request. Oh, okay.
Wait, I didn't hear you. Did you say acquisition or requisition?
The form that we have to submit before going to the board of directors.
Who are the board of directors?
Sorry, board of trustee. I'm so sorry.
Okay, so these are mistakes you don't make in public.
Yeah.
So what was your original question?
So on the slide, I said we had to fill out a form before going to the board of trustees.
So someone help her out. What are the steps that have to happen before you go to the board of trustees with a $3,000 expense?
You have to submit a copy of the meeting minutes, the requisition form, and the approved budget first to Michael, then to Ms. Sharon. And then it'll be put on the agenda for the next board of trustees meeting to be approved there.
Okay, I see. So they'll put it on there once you submit the forms on their agenda.
Yep.
Okay.
Wait, can we clarify what happens like after we send it to Michael? Like, does the budget get approved, or I'm sorry, does the budget get updated, or like I don't know.
So basically that's when you really work with David and Mackenzie. It goes to the board as what's called a consent item. So they have a list they usually have a list of 10 to 15 items that has an explanation that they read beforehand. And if they feel like there's nothing to worry about, they'll just pass them as a whole group. On occasion, a individual board member may say, I'd like to pull consent item 1A, 1S, whatever it is, and have it come out, and they may have a discussion on it. They may have a question. And at that point, I usually make a point to be if I know we have a consent item coming up, either Dean Cobb or myself make sure that we're there to answer those questions. Usually Dr. Olivo can answer them as well, but that's very rare. A lot of times they just want to highlight, they'll say, we'd like to really spotlight the good work that ACE is doing on their drive up event. And then they'll move it and they like to highlight it. So generally 99% of the time, all of your items go through on what's called consent. So they'll approve 15 items at one time. It's usually at the first part of the meeting. Once it's done with consent, we get the okay and we can spend money.
Okay. So for sure, we're going to need like how long before we approve it? Like 2 months or like, what are we looking at? Or a month?
It's the reason we ask for the 6 months is because it's one of those gray areas with time. The board only does business meetings once a month, and generally that's the second Wednesday of the month. So the next one, hey, David, when's the next one? Because the next one is the second Wednesday is the 11th. Are they doing the 4th or the 18th?
They are doing the 10th because the 11th is Veterans Day, so it's going to be on Tuesday.
So
10th.
yeah, so this is what, it all depends on the timing. So the event, their meeting is on Tuesday, which means that their agenda must be posted to them by Thursday because they want 72 hours, right? So they're going to get their agenda on Thursday, November 5th. Now, for us to make it on that agenda comfortably, we generally should be giving this information to Sharon by tomorrow, Thursday, October 29th. So that way she has a week to write it up and submit it. She can usually do it quite quickly, but everyone has a schedule. Everyone has things they have to do. So if we give folks a week's turnaround. So if we can get, generally I don't tell the public this because they don't understand all this, but if we can get the item to Sharon, Miss Sharon, 1 week before the board of agenda goes out to the board, we're okay. So that means you'd have to go back and look at some of these maths. But that's why I also tell people 6 weeks, because if you don't, the board changes up and we don't always know that they change up. So that's why it's one of those things the reason I ask for 6 weeks is because generally I can either get it early enough to catch it on one of the upcoming board meetings, or I have enough time to say, sorry, next one is going to be on this time frame. And that gives you enough, you've planned far enough in advance for your event so that we're not cut short. Okay, does that make sense to you all? Okay, so what's this form here? Who's filled one of these forms out and can tell us what it is?
It's the way you get paid.
Sorry, hold on.
Or it's the way,
you
a
get
vendor,
reimbursed.
everybody else gets paid.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what you have to do, obviously put the address if it's you that needs to be paid and you have the original receipts, or put the address of the vendor if it's something that's going to them. Yeah, and then you check with the form that's going to, I understand if it's check that they mail it out from the business services here at PCC. So that's what would happen if you're paying like a vendor or something and it's like a large item. It would be a check. And then for you, since it's probably like a smaller requisition, it would be probably cash. And yeah, you just put down the item of what needs to be, where the money needs to go for.
Yeah, these days, because the bank is not open to the public, everything's going to be a check. But it used to be anything under $50 would be cash. $50 to $100. What do you think, just using some common sense, Christina, what information should be in the description? I hope Christina's there.
I know her Wi-Fi was sucking, so she might be in and out.
Emmanuel, what do you think should be in the description?
Besides when you plan on spending the money, the description, I would definitely see, there's too much. I was thinking a breakdown of what it is that you're purchasing, But this is for the rec form or the acquisition form? Sorry.
The rec form.
Oh, to request it. So
The requisition form that's on the screen right now.
so I would definitely give detail as to what it is you're purchasing, quantity, and total amount.
Great, great. Chris, what else would you add in that?
Make sure to check AS account for all of you. For me, it would probably be ICC SAF because that is my area of governing and where my budget pulls from.
And what should the account be?
The account should be, I guess, like it depends on your position. So like if it was me, I'll obviously put ICC SAF. And then if it was for other people, I guess it depends on your position. But I guess like, I don't know, for like Alex, it would probably be like the AS student activity account. But I know our budget's changing, so.
So remember, we no longer have individual accounts. And so if you need to do things, so today I asked for money to come from the office supplies to pay for your headphones, your technical things. So you have to remember what account your event, your stuff is coming from. Is it giveaways?
All right, it's coming from programming. Under the new budget, it will come from programming.
It come under programming. So make sure you understand which account you're asking for. And that account should match the account that you put as the agenda item. Remember when we did the agenda item when we listed what account it was coming from? Okay. All right. Who do you think needs to sign this?
Oh wait, Carrie, we had a question.
Okay, what was the question?
Yeah, I have a question about, so if we're like gonna be taking money from, I mean, I'm not going to be, but if we're gonna be requesting money from multiple accounts, would it be we have to make multiple requisition forms? Like an example, if, like for the drive ups, like would we take something from programming if we're gonna have like, you know, some type of consumable materials? And then if we're giving giveaways, then do we have to make a separate requisition form for incentives?
So I think that's going to be a question to work out with you and Miss Sharon, because this is a brand new way of accounting. Again, we're doing this because this is the way the college runs their accounts. So yes, I do agree. It might either have to be noted under account name that we're doing different breakdowns on what we're doing. So if it has to come from one account, so if it's coming from giveaways and office supplies, we may have to have that breakdown listed, because you will need to keep track of that specifically in your books, because those counts all need to be debited for that. This is a new process for us, and we probably will have to work out and change this form up a little bit. I already know that the bank is working on changing the form. So it will probably be open to creating, to make sure that we can then be more detailed in exactly where the budget's coming from. Make sense? Okay. I thought it would generally come from AS accounts. That's what the bank is going to say. The bank is just going to say it's coming from AS accounts. They don't need this level of detail, but you've budgeted your account in this manner, so you should keep track of what everything comes out of. Generally, most of the times that I've seen this, I think all of your stuff is just coming out of one account. But if we have to break it up into two, we will. Okay. Last question, I'm going to let you all go. Who needs to sign these accounts? Who needs to sign off? You see in the very bottom, it says authorized signatures. Who signs? Someone who hasn't spoken and wasn't around last year.
Michael?
Good. All right, Philly, thanks. That was the easy one. Michael signs. If Michael's not available to sign, who else can sign in Michael's place?
Mackenzie?
Yep. There she is. She came back just in time. I hope Connie's teeth are okay. So Michael and Mackenzie, so they need to go for your signatures. And then just so you also know, like the signature chain, it will come to me next to sign. And then it can possibly travel to Dean Cobb. It can travel to Mike Bush. And it can travel to Dr. Olivo. Those three administrators have signature power on different accounts. And it all depends on what account it's coming from, where it gets routed. But you know, you've got generally we're going to ask Michael's signature or Mackenzie's signature. So it's Michael, you're going to have one AS signature, you're going to have one advisor signature, then you're going to probably have at least one admin signature, if not more. So if you imagine that these things have to travel from person to person to person to sign, you saw, if those of you that earlier saw Sharon came in for me to sign these things, that's how we used to do it because we were all here, but now we're virtual. So now we need to send this around. So just remember, it takes a while. Okay. Jasmine, do we just email? And I don't understand. Do we just email?
Sorry, it's so hard to type on my iPad, but so how do we send these forms after we fill them out because we are virtual?
So what you do is once you fill this form out, this form is in a PDF and it's fillable. You complete all that information. You download the copy of the minutes from the event that Francis puts out. You take all of that and any other contract pieces and you send them to Michael as attachments. I would save them all as PDFs and save them as attachments. Okay. And keep them in your file as well. Keep them in a file for you so you know where they are.
I have a question. Can I see the acquisition form?
What is the acquisition form you're all talking about? Because we don't have a form. What form do you think it does? What process is this?
I believe it's, giving back, I guess, receipts. What is it that was purchased ultimately?
Okay. We don't really have, because we don't have a form as acquisition, so that's why I wasn't really following. The one form that you're going to use is the minutes. Let me pull it up. Fiscal policies.
Typically, an acquisition form is used in merchandising. If you're taking supplies out and sending them to, like, you're distributing them, then you use an acquisition form.
Yeah, we don't have one.
Yeah, it would be if we have a stock room of stuff. It would be if we're counting how many chips we've used or something, and if we want to keep track of something like that.
Yeah. All right, let me share. So we don't have an acquisition form because we don't usually use that. That's why when you all were using the word acquisition, I'm like, I don't know what form you're all talking about. So this form here is the ICC funding request form for fall 2020. Chris helped create this, and I'm finding that this is actually probably a very good form. And I think we're going to use this form because it will change it for you, but it asks all the important information that I need to know. I need to know when the meeting was, the date, who approved the agenda, who moved the agenda, who was at the meeting, what was the motion. We motion $500 to, we associate students move to fund $500 to be used for oranges for the AS giveaway on November 2nd, the funding to come from the account. It was moved by Kelly, it was seconded by Manuel, passed 12-0-0. And then down here allows you to do a list of exactly what you're spending. Okay. So we'll probably use this form. So that's what we're talking about. Is that what you're looking for, Emmanuel?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. All right. Anything else for you all? Because I think folks have got to go. We're almost done. I want you to all walk through this so you understand how to get your money and how to spend your money. And there was like a lot of blank stares when I said, have I done this with you all? And you're all like, yeah. So, all right, questions?
Yeah, can we have all these forms in the drive, like as like, you know, a folder?
They actually are in the drive.
Oh, sweet.
So, and I think we put them all in there already. I think I put them in there when Alex was asking for them. So let's make sure that they're there. Do you all understand how to spend money? Do you all understand? I want to make sure you understand the process and you're using the proper wording, because this is logistical stuff that we never covered over the summer. Jordan, do I need to add anything?
No, I think you pretty much got everything.
Do you all feel comfortable with this?
Yes. Which drive is this again?
So remember the Google Drive that I shared with you all that you all have on the AS, the one that I wanted you all to put your stuff in? Let me show it to you. You all had a link, you were invited. I can re-invite you all. Let me share this.
Do we also maybe want to put this into the Lancer Life files also?
So for Lancer Life, it's already up there.
Okay.
It's under club funding. So it's not necessarily listed for you, but it is up there for clubs to use. So do you all remember this? And then Google Drive.
Because Lancer Life lets us like upload files for a specific organization. Like I did that, I uploaded our resolution onto there, like right after it was passed.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it'd be pretty useful to have that as a kind of institutional memory.
Yes, you can add it. You can add files under the AS. Chris, why isn't this letting me do this?
You can click on the 9 square thing. I don't know what it's called.
What I'm trying to get to is I'm trying to get to the G Suites.
Yeah, you can click the 9 square thing next to your profile, and then Google Drive should be there.
I had Carrie create a profile for a
Oh.
Chrome profile, so she's trying to get to that.
I'm in the wrong profile.
Carrie, is this what you're referring to? This folder?
Shared with AS students, yes. Go to fiscal policies. It's either
Financial
fiscal policies or forms. I think I put them in forms. I can't remember which one I put it in. One of those.
Yeah, the only thing in there was a blank requisition form. I didn't see the PowerPoint, which is what I was referring to.
Okay,
Is
the
it possible?
PowerPoint's not in there. I can put the PowerPoint in there. And also I'll put in there there's a step-by-step version so you don't have to follow the PowerPoint.
The only thing in here is just the different things that we wrote out.
Okay. So I'll put those into that drive. So, okay. All right. You all feel comfortable? Because you all were awfully quiet before. Do you feel like you have a better standing now?
I'll review it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'll put the PowerPoint up in there and I'll put up the step-by-step and all the things that we sent to the advisors and the advisor training. So that's it for me. Thank you for sitting through this.
Okay. Thank you, Carrie. Yeah, it was good to go through that training. Do we have any appointments to college-wide committees? I can see if you have anybody you want to appoint.
None that I know of.
All right. Okay. If no, then appointment to AS committees. I actually have committee appointments. Is there anyone else that has committee appointments you can go before I go?
Me.
All right, Alex. Okay.
I only have 3 to so sorry, I'm trying to find their name. Okay. So do I just say I'd like to appoint these people?
Do you have to make a motion, right? Because we're putting this on the minutes, right?
Oh, wait, I'm sorry, what are you doing?
Appointment to AS committees?
Oh, no, you can just go ahead and say that these are the folks you want to appoint.
Okay, the following names are the people I'd like to appoint to the Campus Activities Committee: Kara Lee, Lisa Nguyen, and Abigya Thapa Magar.
And then Carrie.
Oh, sorry.
Oh no, sorry. We don't have to do a roll call vote or anything, right? We can just.
You're just appointing them.
Okay. Okay. And then I think Manuel has some too.
Yes, I also would like to appoint the following names to the Sustainability Committee. First name, Sofia Acevedo. Second, Victor Corona. Third, Anna Yang. Fourth, Sean Siu. Fifth, Alexandra Ling. Thank you.
Do you, Manuel? I think Christina also had some appointments to the committee.
I would like to approve these members for the academic commission. I'm gonna butcher these names, but I'd like to approve Rui Wu, Stephen Salas, Caitlin Chen, Sophia Ibergen, Sophia Barber, and Alexandra Ling. But yeah.
Thank you. And then is there anybody else that would like to point anybody to the committees? Okay, if not, then I will appoint my lobby committee. So the people that I'm appointing: Keisha Sarah, Natalia Martinez, Josel Lauren, Marcus Gomez, James Reyna, Jonathan Apodaca, Audrey Abbott, Maxwell Zhao, and Christian Montoya. All right, and if there are no more appointments, then we can move on to bill acceptance. I don't have any bill acceptance. Oh, sorry.
So
Oh, did we
someone
miss?
pointed out that Michael sits on BRAC. So we could do one of two things. We could stop and, oh God, David, help me out. Can they reorder the agenda of the day and go back to item 7, even though they passed it? Or do we just want to appoint him next week?
I mean, it doesn't matter if we do it now or next week. I don't think they're meeting next week.
No, they're not.
No.
If anything, we can gather all the committees he's supposed to sit on and just do all of them next week.
And Philly's going to sit on some too. So we'll
Yeah.
make an appointment. Mackenzie, just make a note to appoint those folks.
Okay.
All right, seeing as there's no current bill acceptances, we're going to move on to approval of ICC funding. Chris, if there's anything.
There are no funding requests, and the meeting last week was canceled because there were no requests. So yeah, nothing.
All right. Okay. If there's any public comments on the YouTube page or anybody in our Zoom, let me just check to see if there's anybody in here. Yeah, I don't think so. You're limited to.
Oh, there's 5 people watching.
Wow. Well,
Probably all us.
y'all are amazing for watching. Oh my gosh. Hi, you 5 people. If there's no comments, then we can move to announcements. Are there any announcements from you guys? Maybe.
I have an announcement I'd like to make. There is currently I'm going to upload it to the chat. There's a remote voluntary survey for the Lancer Pantry that was distributed yesterday. I'm not sure if anyone else received it, but I think it would help the Lancer Pantry improve their services. That is it. Thank you.
Thank you. And then I actually have an announcement if no one else does. Okay, I just want to ask again, I know we talked about this before, but next Monday, our finalized times are going to be 1 to 3 p.m. at the main campus and then 4 to 5 p.m. at the Rosemead campus. So if anybody's free and COVID tested within the last 30 days, negative, and they'd like to help out, I would really appreciate your help. Buy you some boba, buy you some cake. I will do that. If you can go ahead and let me know or message me, or I'll private message you. So that's all I have. Other than that, I think we can move on to our future meeting dates and times. Next meeting is going to be November 4th, 2020, next Wednesday. It's going to be online, and your agenda items are going to be due tomorrow night, the 29th, before 11:59 p.m. And with that being said, I can move on to adjournment. I'm seeking for a motion to adjourn today's meeting.
I move to adjourn.
Thank you, David. Okay, thank you so much. Who was it that seconded? I just want to, so we can hear.
Alex.
Alex, okay. First by David, seconded by Alex. I'll go and do a roll call vote. Mackenzie?
Aye.
I'm just kidding. Sorry. Chris?
Aye.
Thank you. Christina?
Aye.
Louise? She's still on this call, maybe. Louise? Oh, she's gone.
Louise had to
She's
go.
gone.
Oh, okay. Michael? Oh, he's gone too. Alex?
Aye.
Jasmine?
She's gone.
Oh, Philly?
Aye.
Emmanuel?
Aye.
Kyle?
Aye.
And David?
Aye.
You with those present in favor of adjourning this meeting. This meeting is now adjourned at 2:10 p.m. Thank you. We are done.
Yay, I'll get us off the live.